In paranormal folklore, a mimic is a malicious spirit that imitates a person, often someone we love or trust, in order to trick us. Many people claim to have heard the voices of family members, especially when they are alone in their house. The primary goal for a mimic is to instill fear and unease so they can feed off our energy. Social media user EmilyDell21 uploaded a video in March this year, and viewers are convinced that a mimic was trying to get into her home. Something can be heard scratching against Emma's door. A faint voice can be heard calling out, saying, "I know you're in there." Thankfully, Emma keeps the door locked and doesn't try to communicate with whatever is out there. If she had, viewers say a mimic could have been let into her home and would have haunted her for the rest of her life. However, despite not engaging with the thing outside, Emma hears scratching on her door again the very next day.
Are you there? Let me in!
And this is why I can't call the cops, because when I go to look, there's no one there. I know it's hard to see, but I'm not opening the door. But there's like no one out there. And like, this is a window. There's no people, but this is a window, and you can really see out there. It's hard to see out there. So I don't know what the hell is going on.
This time, the scratching is even more insistent, and the voice is louder, demanding to be let inside. Emma still does not open the door, and even shows that there's no one outside. She does her best to ignore the unsettling noises, and a few days later, shares a video to explain what she thinks is going on.
A lot of people are telling me to call the police. I can't do that because as I've seen, there is nothing there ever. I have actually been dealing with this type of stuff since I was very young. This specific video, my mom used to tell me all the time that I would tell her I was talking to people in my room, that I heard people outside of my door and they were talking to me. I personally don't really remember it because I was pretty young. Again, it hasn't happened to me in a long time, like since I was that young. But it did start happening recently. That video it happened a couple times before that, so I'm honestly just kind of used to it at this point, I guess. Oh, some people ask me if there are scratches on the outside of the door. There are not.
Emma explains that she believes paranormal energy has always surrounded her, even when she was young. So, could Emma have inadvertently attracted a mimic? And what might have happened if she had opened the door?
Are you there? Let me in!
The clip was recorded by a CCTV camera in an unknown hospital, and viewers have been really struggling to come up with a logical explanation for it. A dark, mysterious figure can be seen standing by the patient's bed, but it looks like no one else can see it. In fact, as one of the patient's visitors walks around, we can see them pass through the body of the figure, as if nothing is there. Viewers were left baffled by this creepy footage, with many saying that whatever this is could be linked to the paranormal. Some viewers even suggest that this could be the ghost of a child who tragically passed away in the hospital. But what's your verdict? Is this dark, mysterious, childlike figure a ghost or something else? Let me know down below. This next video was uploaded by a man who experienced every child's worst nightmare, but as an adult. It was 3 AM when he suddenly was jolted awake by strange noises coming from underneath his bed. At first, he tried to ignore it, thinking it was just the house settling, but the sounds continued, scratching, shuffling, like something was moving around down there. Unable to fall back to sleep, he decides to grab his phone and use the flashlight to check what's causing the disturbance. What he discovered under his bed will haunt you. Something can be seen under the person's bed, but who or what is it? The person goes and tells his friend who's in the other room, and they both decide to go and check.
Assim, juro. E que minha mãe subindo em cima da cama. Ai, viado. Calma, relaxa. Entra.
The pair approach cautiously, but when they get there, a dark figure can be seen standing in the room before it rises up, and the pair flee in absolute fear. The video then cuts there. Viewers of this video are divided. Some think it's real and believe they witnessed something unexplainable, pointing to the terror in the man's voice and their panicked reactions. They argue that the figure's unsettling presence and the way both men immediately fled shows this was no ordinary encounter. But what's your verdict? Did these men capture something truly supernatural lurking under the bed, or is this just a cleverly staged hoax? This next photo was originally shared through iMessage as a live photo and quickly began spreading online, leaving everyone who saw it feeling deeply unsettled. According to the person who uploaded it to Reddit, the image was taken during a birthday weekend by the lake. A group of women, no kids, just adults, had gathered for a girls-only getaway. At one point during the trip, someone snapped a quick live photo near the campfire, but when that photo was reviewed later, something was off. On the far right, behind two women seated near the fire, a small child's face can be seen peeking out from behind them, pale, grey, and not reflecting the warm firelight like everyone else in the shot. What's even stranger, according to those present, there were no children at the gathering, and no one recognized this child. Even more eerie, when playing back the live photo, viewers noticed that iPhone's facial recognition feature completely ignored the figure, as if it wasn't a person at all. Now, Rip8 Youth, the uploader, admits they're not an expert and originally hoped to debunk the image, but after analysing it, they were left with more questions than answers. The main question, just who or what is this? In May 2024, Kayla made a video about the unexplained events that surround her family. She explains that her children received a doll that was passed down by an aunt, and according to her, the doll is haunted.
So back in 2020, I had received a doll from an aunt that had been passed down in my family. Originally, it belonged to my great-great-grandmother and kind of cycled through every girl in our family. Everybody hates this doll. It's also important to note. Everybody always claimed that this doll is haunted. But when it ended up with us, my oldest son did love this doll. Played with it all the time, talked to it all the time. So anyway, one night he has a terrible nightmare that he is seeing something crawl out of his closet and stand by his window, which is right next to his bed, and it's staring at him like this. Screaming, crying, won't go back to sleep, needs me or my husband with him. So I go to him, I lay down with him, and the whole time I'm laying with him trying to get him to go back to sleep, he is like staring over my shoulder off into the corner of his room. And I go to turn my head to see what he's staring at, and he stops my face with his hands. He's like, "No, mommy, don't look at him. He's really scary." So I carry him and all of his things. We go lay down in my bed. And this is just the beginning of a situation that went on for nearly a year. So after this, almost every single night, he's having terrible nightmares. And one night, I remember that we have leftover holy water from Lawson's baptism. So I'm like, you know what? We don't have anything to lose at this point. So I sprinkle it around his room, and believe it or not, he actually slept better that night. But my youngest son, who was just a baby at the time, he has a horrible night sleeping. He's up screaming, seems scared, creeped out, whatever. I had also taken a picture of my husband on the monitor in Lawson's bedroom, where he had been laying on the floor holding Lawson's hand trying to help him fall asleep.
Kayla says that both her children have terrible nightmares, and it all seems to be connected to the doll that Kayla claims is haunted. Then, one night, a baby monitor in Kayla's son's room captures something she'll never forget.
You can see like the shadow of a hand or a claw like holding my husband's shoulder as he holds Lawson's hand trying to help him fall asleep. We get rid of the doll. We pass the doll off to the priest. He gives us some very specific instructions on very specific things to say and do around our house. He has us open a Bible to a very specific passage and then place this open Bible in the closet and leave it there. And eventually things do calm down. If things have gotten better, he doesn't mention it, but he still won't sleep in that room without somebody with him.
After following the instructions of the priest, Kayla claims that the scary activity surrounding her children seems to calm down, but she and her husband can't get over the creepy photo that was captured by the baby monitor. She says that, to this day, they still don't know how to explain it and have no idea what might be on her husband's shoulder. Kayla thinks it looks like a hand, and some viewers even claim to see the faint outline of a face, as if someone or something is right next to Kayla's husband and son. But what do you think? And could this be somehow linked to the haunted doll? Let me know down below. Haunted dolls are one of the scariest things I can think of, but Enrique Grossi, a paranormal enthusiast from Brazil, is fascinated by them. He's been collecting dolls for years, and in his opinion, the creepier the better. However, a doll he recently found in an antique shop has really been testing Enrique's limits. For the past couple of nights, Enrique, who lives alone, has been hearing strange noises coming from his doll collection room, and late one night, the noises happen again. Wanting to capture it on camera, Enrique quickly grabs his phone and hits record. What he captures is like something straight out of a horror movie. A chill runs down Enrique's spine as he sees a dark figure slowly peeking out from behind his creepy doll. After witnessing this, Enrique bolts for the front door and spends the night with a friend. When he returns the next morning, whatever this was isn't anywhere to be seen, but the doll is still sitting exactly where he left it. Many believe the strange noises that had been disturbing Enrique night after night were signs of something trying to break through, something tied to the doll. And now that it's finally revealed itself, it may not be willing to go back into hiding. So let's just hope Enrique has the good sense to get rid of that doll, or he might not be the only one living there for much longer. It's late at night when Delaney suddenly hears something through her baby monitor, but it's not her baby crying, it's something else. A low, raspy breathing, like a grown person is in the room, just standing there. Alarmed, Delaney grabs her phone and starts filming the monitor, wanting to document whatever it is that's making that sound. But what the camera captures is far more terrifying than anything she could have imagined. Delaney shared this footage online with the terrifying caption, "What did my camera just capture?" And well, viewers believe that this is something evil, something demonic. But what do you think? This next series of clips was shared to social media by Rabioso, who claims to have caught a ghost on camera. Rabioso is walking home from work one night when he spots something near his house that doesn't look right. Freaked out, he starts recording and goes to investigate.
Estoy llegando a mi casa. ¿Y ven el árbol? ¿Ven allá? ¿Lo ven? Acá. Ahí en el medio. Hay como una figura oscura. Me llamó muchísimo la atención de la cuadra anterior que lo veía. A ver, vamos a acercar. Mi casa está acá a la vuelta. ¿Eh? No hay nada. No sé.
Rabioso says he can see a dark figure by one of the trees near his house, a figure that appears to be phasing in and out of view. However, when he checks around the tree, there's nothing there, just empty space, as if whatever Rabioso saw has vanished into thin air. The very next night, Rabioso is relaxing at home when he's suddenly disturbed by some unsettling noises coming from outside. At first, he tries to ignore them, hoping they'll stop, but they just keep going. Eventually, Rabioso decides to take a look, and what happens next sends him running back inside in terror.
Estoy sintiendo hace un rato ruido acá atrás. No sé qué mierda es. Oh, esto es re oscuro acá. Hey, hola. Hey. Concha de tu madre. ¿Qué carajo es eso? Ah, una sombra y veo cosas por todos lados. Este es un cuarto, la casa de acá atrás es como un cuarto que guardamos cosas, pero estoy sintiendo como un golpeteo. Bueno, no nada. Ey, puta madre. Todo el tiempo ruido. No.
Mysterious voices can be heard, as if people we can't see are standing right next to Rabioso. Creeped out, he runs back inside. In this next clip, Rabioso hears sounds coming from his daughter's room, but she's not at home. He quickly goes inside to see what's going on, and then things take an even creepier turn.
¿Se escucha el ruido? Acá está la habitación de mi hija. Ey. Uy, se siente re fría esta habitación. ¿Qué carajo? El ruido viene de acá adentro, me parece. Concha de tu madre, la concha de tu madre. Otra vez, ¿ves? Ruido acá adentro. ¿Qué onda?
As soon as Rabioso steps inside his daughter's bedroom, a bone-chilling wave of cold washes over him. Then, a series of creepy noises can be heard, including heavy breathing and crying. A ball is even thrown off the bed, narrowly missing Rabioso, who quickly darts out of its way. Towards the end of the clip, it seems as if the noises are coming from inside the wardrobe, but when Rabioso opens it up, he finds only his daughter's toys. And one of them starts playing a haunting tune, mysteriously all on its own. Soon, he begins to hear the sound of heavy rain outside, which adds to the creepy atmosphere, and noises begin to echo down the hall from other rooms in the house. Rabioso keeps recording and goes to check it out. The strange noises follow him around the house, eventually leading him back to his daughter's bedroom. But once again, all he finds is one of his daughter's toys in the wardrobe. Then suddenly, a terrifying gasp startles him, and the footage ends there. For a few nights after this, the activity seems to calm down, but then things get a whole lot worse. After getting home from work late one night, Rabioso hears noises coming from his daughter's bedroom again. What he captures on camera has left viewers terrified.
¿Qué es eso? La concha de su madre. Yo había apagado la luz ahí. Oh, esto me da muchísimo miedo.
The door handle begins to rattle violently before it is suddenly yanked open, but there's no one on the other side. It scares him so badly, he decides to leave the house in the middle of the night to stay with a friend. But just as he gets outside, this happens.
Yo no sé si... O esa es Sansa, pero... Esa mi perra tiene un cono, pero... Ahí se escucha algo raro, Uy, no.
Something manifests itself out of the darkness. Something that resembles a face. Rabioso believes that this is what he saw behind the tree and that it followed him home. He says it's haunting him and has no idea how to get rid of it. So, what would you do in Rabioso's situation? Let me know. Bob Gimlin uploaded the following clip to YouTube with the title, My Paranormal Evidence, Some of the Best I've Ever Seen. He explains in the description that he was a night manager at a resort and one of his duties was to patrol the spa a couple of times at night. He goes on to say that the following capture is, quote, ghost phenomena. On the night of October 22nd, 2016, he patrols the spa late at night. He'd just bought a new iPhone earlier that day and was excited about using the phone's camera. As he walks around the spa, he randomly snaps pictures with his new iPhone. In total, he took 118 photos during his patrol that night. But after reviewing the photos, he noticed something strange in several of them. Here's what he captured.
But I don't even remember when I noticed the figures in the frames. But I know it wasn't the night I took them. It must have been in the following days. Which brings us to our first apparition. So first I look down this long, creepy hallway. Then I turn to go into one of the service rooms, have a look about for whatever reason. And then I get fixated on this window at the end of the hall. I take 3 photos of the window. And then one at the floor. The baseboard, maybe. And I must have walked away. I'm looking at the window from a distance, but I'm heading back to it. And then here is the first of several in this sequence that seem to depict something else, to the right of the flash. And if you're not convinced, you can see it better on the live capture, and I'll replay it. Again, I didn't even notice the figure in this sequence until I started working on this video. This was not the subject of this video. I haven't even gotten to the good part yet. And it's easy to think at first that the silhouette is just me, but it's not, because I'm holding the phone in front of my face. And you can even make out that there's no arm between where the figure is and the flash. Just to be clear, I'm holding the phone to my face on the left. To prove that the silhouette on the right isn't me, look at this photo from earlier, from a few photos ago. See, no figure. I'm the only silhouette in the picture, with the flash in front of my face. And then about 10 pictures later, in the same spot, I'm not the only figure in frame.
In the reflection of the window, what looks like a dark figure can be seen standing right next to Bob. Bob Gimlin is certain that these captures are paranormal, and YouTube viewers agree. But what's your verdict? Did Bob capture real paranormal evidence as he says? Comment below. Mirrors are sometimes said to be portals to other dimensions. In this next video, a man who apparently lives in a haunted house claims to see ghosts in his bedroom mirror. The mirror came with the house, and at first, the man thought it looked good, so he decided to keep it. But then one night, he records this.
No, 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 no es posible.
A figure can be seen in the reflection of the mirror. Even as the poster shines light towards it, illuminating the creepy figure, it just stands there, staring right at him. But as the person recording looks around the room, there's no one there. Creepiest of all, he says he lives alone. So, just who or what is this? This next eerie video was uploaded by Mrs. Tennyson to you, who titled it "Creepy Ghost While My Client is Sleeping." And well, it could be. Mrs. Tennyson works as an in-home nurse for the elderly. One of her patients is an elderly woman who she visits nightly and reportedly talks in her sleep, but not just murmurs or mumbling. Her patient speaks as if someone is there with her. One night, strange noises from the bedroom drew the nurse's attention. She went to check and found the woman fast asleep, but something about the room felt off. From that night on, the nurse started monitoring the room more closely using the home security cameras, and a few nights later, the strange noises returned. This time, she stayed glued to the monitor, and what she saw spooked her beyond words.
Every night I'm at work, I be thinking I'm tripping. But you gotta watch this video, y'all. You see that move under the bed? Like, I know for a fact this close to my client's house. I be seeing, you see it keep moving like right there under the bed? It's moving back and forth. You see it? It's ghost in my client's house. Look under her bed. It'll come out and go back. Now she in bed sleep. She ain't moved an ounce. But do you see how it keep coming out, going back in? This is no joke.
Something mist-like moves near the bed, low to the floor, sliding in and out from underneath the woman's bed. But just what on earth is it? It's worth noting that apparently the elderly woman lives completely alone. What's more is that the nurse mentions that the elderly woman often speaks softly at night, as if she's having a quiet conversation with someone. But when asked about it the next day, the elderly woman never remembers a thing. So, what is this mysterious thing appearing in and out from underneath this elderly woman's bed? Let me know. Indonesian YouTuber Mamanyu is known for solo camping and exploring creepy locations. Having heard scary stories about a stretch of forest not too far from his home, Maman decides to check it out. All the stories feature the same thing: a woman in a long white dress, known in Indonesia as a kuntilanak. These are the ghosts of women who passed away during childbirth, which makes them seek vengeance for their unborn children. Determined to find proof that a kuntilanak haunts the forest, Maman camps overnight and sets up cameras to record everything that happens. Nothing really goes on, but then Maman records this. motorcycle can be seen moving, its engine on and its horn beeping. My man is initially frozen in fear, but then gathers up the courage to switch off the bike's engine. But as he looks around, there's no one to be seen. So just what or who was messing with the bike? Later, as my man is sitting in his tent, he hears an unsettling noise coming from outside. He checks his camera feed on his phone and is horrified by what he sees. A figure of what looks like a woman in a long white dress appears to be sitting on my man's motorcycle before vanishing into thin air. My man's viewers believe that this is the kuntilanak known to haunt this forest. But what's your verdict? Did my man capture a kuntilanak on camera? Let me know in the comments. YouTube user Creepy Outdoors was camping in the woods with his tent pitched, a fire lit, and his speakers playing some relaxing music. Creepy Outdoors is ready to settle in for a night under the stars, but then he hears something that makes his heart miss a beat. He's not sure what it is, so he grabs his flashlight and goes to check it out.
Let's see how this place looks like without any lights. Pitch black. Imagine being out here. This is one of the creepiest forests I've ever been. And I'll be spending the night here. I'm not sure if you guys ever seen the Blair Witch Project, but damn, this is just giving me Blair Witch Project vibes.
As Creepy Outdoors is walking through the dark forest with only his flashlight to guide him, he notices how creepy his surroundings are. Many of the trees are dead, and there also doesn't seem to be many animals around, making the forest eerily quiet. However, Creepy Outdoors is about to hear something utterly horrifying.
Oh, fuck. Oh, hi. What the hell? I need to get back to camp.
A voice calls out through the darkness, scaring Creepy Outdoors so badly that he immediately runs for his life. But who or what was lurking in the shadows? On March 26, 2025, a woman called Diana is woken in the middle of the night by flashing lights outside her window. Rubbing her eyes, she looks out the window to see a group of police cars parked outside an old trailer that her father has been renting out to a man named Tom. As she looks, she realizes the cops are searching for the trailer. Confused and concerned, she decides to record everything on her phone. But when Diana posts the video to her Instagram the next morning, her followers spot something that just doesn't make sense.
Wait, they're going up to Tom's place. So wait, you said the light wasn't off?
Yeah, exactly. And I knew that something was going on. That's a lot of cops.
Holy shit, what the hell?
Why look at the window?
Oh my god, they're calling.
Yeah, they're coming out.
Are they calling something in? They're going back over. What was Tom doing?
Is there like an app you can check or something to figure out?
Jesus.
As Diana records the police, a dark figure can be seen manifesting in and out of sight. Diana didn't even notice it until her keen-eyed viewers pointed it out, and due to its small size, many of them speculate that it is the ghost of a child. But this isn't the only creepy activity Diana caught on camera. According to her, the police found Tom's body during their search, and a few days later, she and her father have to go into the trailer to begin cleaning it up. No one could have expected what they'd find inside.
Get ready. It could be it'll smell like a...
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Oh my god. Jeez. Oh my god.
Something falls from the ceiling, later revealed to be a dead crow. And if that wasn't scary enough, Diana then finds something that fills her with dread.
Whoa. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, Jesus. Wait, did this guy have a kid? What is this?
Yeah, it's been a long time ago.
Spotting a child's artwork stuck in the fridge, she asks her father if Tom, the guy who had just passed away in the trailer, had any kids. The answer shocks her. Tom had a son, but he passed away when he was a child. This revelation has led Diana and her viewers to speculate that the small, shadowy figure that she accidentally caught on camera the night Tom's body was found could have been the ghost of his son. That leaves one intriguing question. Could he have returned from beyond the grave to accompany his father to the afterlife? This eerie footage was uploaded to Instagram by Ghost Golden Guns back in 2023, but recently it started going viral across social media. According to the uploader, just days after moving into a new home, strange things began happening around the house. At first, it was minor, odd noises, unsettling vibes, but soon the activity became impossible to ignore. So, curious and disturbed, he started recording everything on his phone.
Yo, what up? Ghost Golden Guns over here, and I'm going live right now because that's why. Hello? Hello? Is anyone there? What the f***? What the f***? Who is out? Oh my god. Oh my goodness, what the f***? Hello, who is there? Oh my goodness, please stop. What the f***? Please stop, please stop. This is my house. Leave, leave, this is my house. You're not allowed here, leave. Oh my goodness. Hello. Oh my goodness.
Objects can be seen moving on their own, but what happened next was far more chilling. On another night, while strange noises echoed through the house again, he grabbed his phone to investigate, and that's when he captured this.
What the f***?
figure can be seen silently peeking from the bedroom door, just standing there watching him until it slowly fades back into the darkness. Already unnerved, he tries to carry on as normal, but then, on yet another night, something even more terrifying happens.
What the f?
Some sort of apparition-like thing appears at the man's bedroom door. He approaches, but then it vanishes out of sight, never to be seen again. Horrified by what he's just witnessed, the man decides he's had enough and stays the night at a friend's house. But just what did he see that night inside his home? And just what is this? Is it something paranormal? You decide. This next footage was captured on a family CCTV camera overlooking their backyard pool. Late one evening, after putting their kids to bed, the mother and father step outside to relax under the stars. What happens next is a complete mystery. As the couple sit by the pool, the lights suddenly cut out. They both look spooked, and then, just seconds later, the mother vanishes into thin air. The man jumps up, clearly panicked, looking around like he's trying to process what just happened. But there's no sign of her anywhere. This video has been shared across forums and social media, with some viewers calling it one of the strangest disappearances they've seen. And while some write it off as a hoax, others believe this could be far more disturbing: an abduction.
An abduction.
Late one night, a woman named Daria was at home with her husband and their 3-year-old daughter. Everyone was asleep, and the house was still. But just after 3 AM, Daria's phone lit up with a motion alert from her home security system. Something had triggered the living room camera. She opened the app, expecting maybe her pet or a flicker of light. Instead, she saw this. The face of someone or something can be seen peeking out from behind the wall. According to Daria, no one was awake at the time, and apparently, the hallway leads to the bedroom where Daria, her partner, and her daughter were fast asleep. Late one night, social media user Josh Robillard has just got home after working late. Anyone else would be looking forward to unwinding after a long shift, but Josh is apprehensive about entering his own home. For the past few weeks, Josh has been experiencing what he claims is paranormal activity. Objects around the house moving all on their own, and the lights switching on and off, and strange noises have been heard in empty rooms. In this first clip, as Josh pulls onto his driveway, he notices something in one of his windows.
Okay. I just pulled up, and what is that? Is that a person? What the f is that? There should be nobody in the house. Nobody at all. Okay, well, guess let's check it out.
What looks like a dark figure can be seen looming in front of a window. This doesn't add up for Josh. No one is supposed to be in the house, so just who or what is this? What's even more creepy is that when Josh looks around inside, the house is just as empty as he thought it would be. There's no sign of whatever this is anywhere. But a few nights later, Josh is home alone when he suddenly hears something coming from downstairs.
Okay, I definitely heard something down here. Banging or something.
And it gets worse. That very same night, Josh is asleep when he hears noises coming from downstairs again. What he captures on camera this time has left him and his viewers horrified. Pale face can be seen looking through the window, staring right at Josh, who is absolutely terrified. The face eventually slips away out of sight, and when Josh searches around outside, there's nothing there. TikTok viewers believe that Josh encountered something paranormal, but what do you think? Is this paranormal? Let me know down below. In this next video, a young woman named Lucy was at home alone when she was disturbed by the sounds of something knocking and banging on her bedroom door. At first, she tried to ignore it, but as the knocking and banging got louder, she became increasingly terrified. She makes the decision to record it on camera as proof. This is what she recorded.
Lucy!
Loud knocking and banging can be heard on Lucy's bedroom door, and if you look closely, the shadow of someone or something can be seen in the gap under the door. But Lucy, too scared to go and check, ignores the sounds and keeps her door locked. Eventually, the knocking stops. However, a few days later, the knocking starts again. The knocking can be heard again. This time, Lucy gets up and takes a look, but when she opens her bedroom door, there's no one out there. When her sister came home, she showed her the footage, and what her sister told her made her jaw drop. Apparently, the exact same thing had been happening to her sister when she was alone in the house. Her sister even recorded a video herself, but kept it a secret due to fear of being branded a liar. This was what her sister recorded when she was home alone. Both girls were so frightened by these experiences, they decided to upload the videos to TikTok in search of answers, and viewers had their say. The majority say that whoever or whatever is on the opposite side of the door is a quote, mimic. A mimic is a paranormal entity said to take the form or voices of people familiar to us. They do this to gain our trust, then slowly over time possess us. And the sisters, they seem to believe that this is a mimic too, as they caption this video with the hashtag mimic. But what do you think is going on here? Is a mimic haunting Lucy and her sister's home? Share your thoughts on this one in the comments. This next video takes us to the apartment of a young man named Sam, who'd been renting a place so cheap it almost seemed too good to be true. Locals told him that strange things had happened inside, things such as lights flicking on and off when the place was vacant, and the previous tenants had all left in a hurry not long after moving in. But Sam didn't believe in the supernatural one bit, so he moved in, brushing off the rumours. But shortly after moving in, creepy things started happening. One night, Sam is disturbed by something coming from another part of his house. Lights swing back and forth all on their own, then objects are hurled across the room like an invisible force is lashing out. After witnessing this, Sam realises that the exact same thing his neighbours warned him about is happening to him, and whatever is there with him wants him to know it. Terrified, he decides to move out immediately, convinced the only way to escape was to leave the apartment behind. But here's the question, is changing addresses really enough? Or will whatever found him in that apartment follow him into his new home? The Rockies are known for their beauty, and sometimes for things no one can explain. Voyager Overland uploaded this next clip titled, "Caught on Camera, What Did We Capture in the Alberta Rockies?" And viewers, no one can say for sure what it is, but almost everyone agrees it's creepy as hell. In the description, the uploader writes, "I have no idea what it was, but it was lurking around our Jeep." And later, "I don't know if I can ever camp again after seeing this. This footage, I kept it as proof of the unexplained." At the start of the video, a grandma and grandpa are seen making their way to a remote camping spot. Once they arrive, they set up camp and also place a trail cam nearby, hoping to capture some wildlife to show their grandkids. They'd done this many times before, but never really caught anything interesting. Until now. Out of nowhere, a transparent figure appears in front of the camera, moving in a way that just doesn't look human. It disappears for a moment, then reappears as a full-bodied apparition, standing further back in the dark. It shows itself several times, flickering in and out of the darkness without making a sound. And then it vanishes, just like that. This video, uploaded in October 2024, has racked up over 6.2 million views, and many of the comments believe it's 100% legit. So, what exactly did they capture out there in the Rockies? Whatever it wasn't wildlife. This next clip was uploaded to the internet by the ghost hunting group Fearful Encounters. The group venture out to the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, a former medical facility in Tennessee that closed its doors in the late 1990s. Since then, it's gained a notorious reputation for intense paranormal activity, including unexplained voices, shadow figures, and physical encounters. Not long into their investigation, they capture someone or something on camera. As the camera pans round the hallway, all seems fine. However, when they pan back the other way just a second later, a mysterious, tall, dark figure can be seen standing motionless in the centre of the corridor. But what is it? The tall man is believed to be one of the more powerful entities lingering in the building, and viewers of this video agree that this dark figure is just that. Many other commenters also mention their experiences with the so-called tall man. But is this really him? You tell me. The clip was originally uploaded by a social media user who goes by the name Jess Mojo Dojo 2 and is caught the attention of both skeptics and paranormal enthusiasts. Jess claims that her daughter's playroom is haunted by a ghost, and in this first clip I want to share, we see how scared Jess's little girl is.
The guy is at the door.
Guy.
Can we go together?
Yeah.
Do you want to open the door or you want mommy to open it?
I want mommy to open it.
Okay.
He's in there.
The guy?
Yeah. He's scary.
He's scary.
I'm scared.
It's okay.
No.
Jess's daughter refuses to enter her playroom, too scared to even open the door. What should be a fun, happy place for her has become the source of nightmares, and she claims to see a scary man inside. However, when Jess opens the door to check, there's no one there. At the centre of the room is a playhouse. Jess's daughter spent hours playing inside it, but recently she won't go near it. Hoping to reassure her little girl, Jess attaches a doorbell camera to the playhouse. She tells her that if there really is anything to be afraid of, the camera will record it. Prior to the following recording, Jess thinks her daughter is just imagining things, but then the camera captured this. The bell keeps ringing and the playhouse door opens and closes several times. Then, the hair on a doll inside the playhouse suddenly moves. After several minutes, Jess comes into the room, but there's nothing to be found. Jess has since deleted the clips from her social media, so further updates are unlikely. But what do you think is going on here? Is Jess's daughter really seeing a ghost? And is a ghost haunting the little girl's playhouse? You tell me. This next entry was shared by social media user Killer Pigeon, otherwise known as KP. KP is playing around with his webcam one night, trying out different settings and filters, when he inadvertently captures something creepy on camera.
I just found out, oh my god, I just found out you can connect your camera to your computer that doesn't have a webcam, and you can use your phone as a camera. Okay, so I was on the photo booth app. I was just like, okay, let me play around with it. I haven't used this in forever, and oh my god, I'm scared. I was taking the photos, whatever, and I was looking back at them, and I saw that there's this black line, and it's because my cabinet opened a little bit. And I went to the next one, and I don't even know why this is like lit up back here. You know, this is like the thermal photo thing, and it's like lit up. So I kept going to the next one, and I swear I freaked out because one, I don't know how it opened, but two, I swear that's like a face right there. Like it's literally like I don't understand like what that could be. Like it's literally a face, and I'm like I'm freaking out right now. And the next one, like the computer started glitching, so it took, I don't know what this is, and then I took a photo. When I realized, it just like snapped a photo automatically. But I swear that's, and I've already checked. I checked my whole apartment, and this, I thought maybe it was up this because this is black up here, but it was on the second shelf. Like it was not up, it was right here, and there's nothing that looks anything remotely like that. Like it's so, I don't understand.
As KP takes photos with his webcam, he gradually notices that the cabinet behind him has opened, and inside, something that looks like a face can be seen peeking out. But when he checks, there's nothing there. And that's not the only scary incident that takes place in KP's home. A few nights later, KP records this. With the water turning on and off in the bathroom, KP goes to investigate, but as soon as he turns off the faucet, the cupboard doors begin to rattle, and then a glass smashes outside the room. Experiences like this have convinced KP that his apartment is haunted, but things are about to get a lot worse. KP says that he keeps waking up covered in scratches and bruises, as if someone or something has been attacking him in his sleep. Determined to find out what's going on, he installs cameras in different rooms around the apartment. This is what they record one night between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. Door can be seen opening all on its own. Then shortly afterwards, KP's blanket is snatched away from him. Still half asleep, KP tugs the blanket back into place, but then it happens again, and then KP is dragged out of the bed by something we can't see. But the creepy activity only escalates from there.
Holy shit, did I just get that on camera?
A shadowy figure can be seen behind the shower door, but when he opens it to check what's going on, the shower is empty. But what happens the next night is, in KP's own words, nightmare fuel. KP is woken at 3 a.m. when a DVD flies off a shelf and clatters to the floor. When he goes to pick it up, the DVD seems to be thrown into the closet by an invisible hand, and the door slides shut behind it. KP then hears a noise and turns to see this standing on his bed. Horror struck, he attempts to run to the bathroom for a place to hide from whatever this is, but the door slams in his face. Fortunately, KP manages to reach the front door and make it safely out of the apartment. Too scared to go back in and face the thing he saw on his bed, KP spends the night with family. If I were him, I'd move out. Social media user Jex Swee works as a night watchman at a school in the Philippines. The school has had issues in the past with security. Objects around the building would mysteriously move or go missing overnight, and passers-by reported seeing shadowy figures in the windows. The school therefore had security cameras installed, and Jeksui was hired as a night watchman. One night, at almost 10:30 p.m, Jeksui is in his office at the school when a warning suddenly flashes up on his computer screen, saying movement detected in one of the classrooms. Jeksui quickly takes remote control of the camera and uses it to look around the classroom. This is what he saw. A translucent figure can be seen in the doorway. Some viewers say it looks like a woman in a long dress, but it's hard to tell what this might be. Suddenly, it vanishes, only to reappear seconds later in a different spot. Jeksui and his viewers aren't sure what to make of this scary footage, but several suggest that this could be a ghost, and that it could be responsible for the mysterious moving objects in the school. But what's your verdict? Is this a ghost? Drop a comment with your thoughts. Late one night, a young man from Vietnam suddenly jolts awake. Disorientated, he reaches for his tablet and sees that it's 3:46 a.m. He tries to go back to sleep, but he has a strange feeling that he's being watched. He looks around the room and sees a dark shadow in a corner. It's hard to tell what it could be, so he takes a photo, increases the brightness, and sees this. Horrified, the young man sees what appears to be a shadowy figure crouching beneath his table. However, when he gets out of bed and switches the light on, the figure is nowhere to be seen. He says that whoever or whatever this was has vanished into thin air. Many viewers think that this is a ghost, but why it was watching the man while he slept is a total mystery. This next video comes from an unknown source. It was apparently recorded by a family travelling down a remote stretch of road at night. No houses for miles, but as they drove further, they decided to take a turning to look for gas. Just a few miles down this road, they spotted a house, but the house itself didn't catch their eye. It was this. Something dark can be seen morphing into different shapes on the front porch of this secluded house. The family watch in confusion as whatever this is moves in an incredibly unnatural way, because no matter how many times you rewatch this, it only gets more bizarre. Polish social media user Eddie Ome uploaded this next series of clips claiming that his home is being haunted by a poltergeist. Eddie claims to have heard strange noises in the middle of the night and noticed that items seem to mysteriously move around the house without him touching them. Creepiest of all, a lot of the scary activity involves Eddie's cat, who seems to sense that something is lurking inside his house. One night, when Eddie is away from home, he leaves a camera recording to see if it catches anything on tape. Eddie isn't sure what caused the mysterious banging noises in the footage. He says that his cat is usually well behaved and doesn't normally cause any disturbances at night, so this recording just doesn't make sense. What scares him the most is the low sound his cat makes, as if she is truly terrified. In this next clip, recorded a few days later, Eddie hears a noise and then notices that his cat suddenly starts acting strangely. Mysterious noises can also be heard coming from outside the room, putting both Eddie and the cat on edge. Eddie becomes more convinced than ever that his home is haunted when he is woken in the middle of the night by the same banging noises recorded in the first clip. This time, Eddie investigates the mysterious noises, but his cat isn't even in the room, proving that she wasn't the one making them the first time. Although the noises stop when Eddie opens the door, they restart a second later in a different room. And it doesn't end there. The very next day, Eddie is working from home when the noises start up again. Once again, when Eddie opens the door to investigate, there's nothing there. In this next clip, just before 7 AM, Eddie hears that familiar sound. The banging noises are heard again, almost as if someone is frantically knocking on the door trying to get in. But, as always, the room on the other side looks totally empty. The same thing happens the next day too.
Nie no, generalnie robię sobie obiad, nie? Znowu się zaczyna.
So, just what is going on here? Eddie and his followers are convinced that he's being haunted by a poltergeist. But what's your verdict? Poltergeist? Or something else? Let me know. Deborah, who works as a caregiver for an elderly woman, was asked by the family to stay in the house while they were out of town. The elderly woman hadn't left her bed for over 2 years. Initially, everything seemed normal. Deborah spent most of her time watching TV or browsing her phone. However, a few nights into her stay, late one evening, she falls asleep while recording a video message for a friend. The following day, as she reviewed the footage, what she discovered in that accidental recording chilled her to the core. The figure of someone eerily enters the room and just stands there, watching Deborah before the video ends there. But who is it? The lady Deborah is caring for is supposed to be bedridden, creeped out by the footage, but since the family is out of town, Deborah doesn't tell anyone and hopes it was just a one-off. However, the next day, this happens. Voice can be heard coming from the opposite side of the door saying, "Deborah," followed by and knocking. Now, what makes this so creepy isn't the fact that hearing this is damn creepy on its own. It's the fact that it's the voice of the lady who is unable to get out of bed. So just who or what is behind the door? Well, Deborah created a video explaining what she thinks is going on.
I legitimately feel like I'm being possessed. Possessed. Something's haunting me. Legit. Like, I don't... Who turned the radio on? Who turned the radio on?
A couple of days go by, and while Deborah is at home in her bathroom, she hears something on the other side of the bathroom door. Creeped out, she hits record on her phone.
Jesus.
The voice of the old lady can be heard calling her name from the other side of Deborah's bathroom door, but when Deborah opens the door, there's no one there. Viewers of these clips were left terrified, with many believing that something evil is at play here, siding with Deborah's thoughts that she is being haunted and it's followed her home. But what do you think? Let me know down below. This next series of clips was shared to social media by user Amaro-Somex1 after he and his family experienced some scary activity in their home. In this first clip, Amaro and his family are awoken in the middle of the night by someone or something knocking on their front door. This isn't the first time something like this has happened, so Amaro starts recording on his phone, hoping to use the footage as proof that his home is haunted.
Vente. Me están tocando.
Sí. La niña empezó a llorar.
Ya no haga mucho ruido para ver quién es. No prendas. ¿Cómo rápido? Está bien inquieta, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Ya son casi las 3 de la mañana. ¿Dónde están las llaves? Hoy. Ahí quédate, espérame. No hay nadie. No hay nadie. No, uy, otra vez. Menos. ¿Quién será? No es nadie, Ceci. Yo creo que ya nos subimos a dormir. Ya. Vámonos porque igual le voy a enseñar la hora. Siempre pasa lo mismo. Miren, son casi las 3 de la mañana.
A few nights later, Amaro can't sleep, so he decides to play a video game while his wife and child are upstairs. However, it's not long before he starts hearing something extremely unsettling.
Casi las 3 de la mañana. Hay alguien allá afuera. Hay alguien atrás. Ahí está parado. Ahí hay alguien.
Amaro claims that, quote, someone is crying in my kitchen at 3 a.m, but as he looks around, there's nothing there. Amaro and his wife are understandably scared and frustrated by this creepy activity, but in this final clip, things get even scarier. We can see someone or something peeking over the gate, watching Amaro's family. But what is it? Is it a ghost, as viewers suggest? Or a demon that is haunting Amaro's home? Or is there a more logical explanation to all of this? Let me know. It's almost Christmas, and social media user Brie has decorated her home for the season. There's a Christmas tree, a wreath on the door, and of course, an elf on the shelf. These popular elf dolls are said to watch children for Santa Claus, reporting back whether they've been good or bad. Parents move the elves around the house without their children noticing, creating the illusion that the elves are alive. It's all just innocent holiday fun, but in recent years, many internet users have reported strange phenomena surrounding the elf dolls. Some say the elves really do move on their own, while others say they attract the ghosts of children who have passed away. Brie uploaded this clip after her son caught something scary on camera. He was up late at night, hoping to film the elf moving, but instead, this happened. Something appears in a flash of blue light. If you look closely, it looks like the figure of a child gazing up at the elf doll. Brie says she has no logical explanation for this scary apparition. According to her, she and her other kids were asleep when the video was recorded, so there's no way it was any of them. She thinks that whatever this is must be paranormal. Viewers think that what Brie's son caught on camera was the ghost of a child who passed away just before Christmas. But what do you think? Is this a ghost, or is there a more logical explanation? Let me know down below. One night, a young woman was home alone when she began hearing strange noises coming from another part of her house. Initially, she thought it might just be the wind, or maybe the house settling, but the sounds kept getting louder. Nervous but curious, she grabs her phone and heads down the hallway to investigate. That's when she sees this. A creepy face of someone or something can be seen peeking out of a doorway before it dashes out of sight, and the video cuts off. Now, here's the thing. If this really happened, why stop filming? Why not keep recording, especially after seeing something that disturbing? That's why some viewers think this was staged. But whether real or fake, one thing's for sure, it's seriously creepy. But what do you think? Did she capture something paranormal? Or was it a well-orchestrated hoax for some quick views? Share your thoughts in the comments. A man named Guay from Cuba was hiking in a forest with his wife. They start their adventure early in the afternoon, hoping to reach their camping spot by nightfall. However, darkness descends quicker than they expected. While hiking for a while through the forest in pretty much total darkness, Guay and his wife hear something in the trees. They turn and look and see this.
Ah, señor, ¿está ahí perdido? Me está buscando, viejo, porque en realidad nosotros somos por aquí mismo, así que estamos cuidando la zona, vaina, todo. ¿Te podemos ayudar en algo? Ah, señor. Si está buscando algo, nosotros te ayudamos, que está ahí. ¿Ah? Pues es que ¿cómo se llama? Yo vivo por aquí. ¿Te ayudamos en algo? Buscamos a la policía. ¿Ah? Vámonos. Vamos.
Something with glowing eyes can be seen standing in the darkness. At first, Guay and his wife think it's a man and they try to communicate with it. But whatever this is just stands there with its eyes glowing in the darkness. Guay uploaded this video to social media saying that he believes it's a demon. But what do you think this is? Share your thoughts in the comments. In October 2019, Sky from the Swamp Valley YouTube channel went camping in Landfine Estate in Scotland. It's usually a popular location for walkers, but almost as soon as Sky arrives, he notices something unsettling. He records the entire thing on his phone, and the footage has left his viewers spooked.
This is really freaking me out. Somebody is actually following me, and it's freaking out. Like, who the hell is that? This can't be on the joke.
Sky is hiking up to a campsite to meet his friends when he suddenly notices someone following behind him. He has no idea who the person is or what he wants, so he quickly heads to a thicker patch of forest and tries to hide.
I'm gonna have to confront him, I think. Just ask him what the hell he's playing at.
The man is heading straight towards where Sky's friends are camping. Fearing for their safety, Sky decides to follow him. After tracking him for a while, the man disappears from sight. So Sky decides to take a break and tries to call his friends. But that's when things go horribly wrong.
Oh, oh, Jesus, fuck, hell, oh, hell,
As Sky is hiding, all of a sudden, the man appears right above him. Sky sees him and flees in terror, but the man chases him with a flaming torch. He says it was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to him. To this day, he has no clue who the man is, but he has a pretty good idea of what he wanted to do, and it wouldn't have been pretty. Maria Martin is celebrating her friend's birthday when something creepy happens, and she thinks it's linked to a ghost. Maria and her friends are gathered around to watch the birthday girl blow out the candles, but that's when things take a spooky turn.
Mira, creía que había sido haciendo una broma. ¿La habéis grabado?
The candles suddenly all go out, but Maria's friend didn't get a chance to blow them out herself. So just how did they go out? Maria even pans the camera around to show that there are other candles on the table, but they are all still burning. After uploading this creepy clip to her social media, Maria's followers ask for more details, so she shares this update.
Ayer subí un vídeo con mi amigo en el cumpleaños de una de ellas, en el cual se apagan las velas de manera un poco misteriosa, sin que nadie esté soplando o nadie esté cerca. Aquí tenéis el vídeo a cámara súper lenta por si alguien ve algo más que nosotros no veamos, que sea más experto sobre la dirección del fuego que puede haber pasado. Realmente ella no estaba soplando y es que en la dirección en la que vemos que viene no había nadie, porque es que el resto estábamos detrás cantándole. O sea, no sé, nos quedamos todos porque ya veis las siguientes reacciones.
Some viewers think that the incident with the candles could have been caused by a ghost, but what do you think? And just how did these candles go out? Comment down below and let me know. 20 years ago, Sean Robinson inherited a painting from his grandmother, which he claims is the world's most haunted painting. The creepy piece of art is known as the Anguished Man and was reportedly created by someone who mixed his own blood into the paint before he suddenly passed away. Sean, now the owner of the painting, says it is cursed. Wherever the painting is, lights flicker, objects move around on their own, and creepy noises can be heard. Sean decides to make a YouTube channel for the painting, where he documents all the scary activity that happens around it. One night, he sets up a camera to record the painting, and the footage has left his viewers spooked.
I'm going to record it for approximately 8 hours, see if we can catch some of the activity on video. So I'm going to set up the recording equipment and leave it for approximately 8 hours, and I'll leave the light on.
A lot of activity is caught on camera. Sean struggles to count them all, but the activity that scares him the most, those creepy noises. in whatever this is that darts past the camera. Sean says he has no idea how to explain any of it, but his viewers all agree that the painting is incredibly cursed. One says perhaps the soul of the painter, and who knows what else, has attached itself to the work. Another suggests that the sounds Sean recorded are the cries of the painter's ghost, who is begging for his soul to be set free. Whatever the case, this painting is pretty terrifying. But do you think it's cursed? Or could it all be a well-orchestrated hoax? Let me know. At around 10:19 PM on August the 27th, a man named Rodney was working alone in the back of a large retail store when his shift is suddenly interrupted by something which he can't explain. Confused, he checks the CCTV camera footage and it showed this.
He's putting things away from the box. All right, now watch. I want you guys to focus on this area right here. Okay? Hold on, let me speed this up a bit. All right, watch.
You have the doctrine right, and you stow it on a shelf in your closet, and do not pull that doctrine
Look.
out.
Boom, you see that? I'll get back here for you guys to give you a better view. Look at that. And I'm just like...
That's not what I asked you.
Is that you? Look, I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. It's just me. See that? Come out. I'm not afraid of you. Is that you? That threw down the box earlier? Come on out. You don't scare me. Come on up. Always trying to mess with me. Oh! Oh, no. Hell no. Hell. Let me see. Hold on. Where am I? I'm here. Where am I going? Look, there I am, right there. Look, you see that? You see that? Nah. Nah. Hell no.
Rodney says he has no idea on just how his hair was pulled or what caused this large heavy box to mysteriously topple over. But what's your verdict? Is this something paranormal? And if not, just who or what pulled his hair? Let me know. This next unsettling photo was taken during a family outing at a quiet mountain resort somewhere in East Asia. Two children, excited for the day ahead, rode a chairlift through the sunlit hills as their parents sat just behind them, Hoping to capture the moment, the parents snapped a photo of their kids smiling and throwing peace signs as they dangled above the grassy slope below. At first glance, it looks like an innocent picture of a perfect day, but if you look more carefully, between the children, hanging down from the chairlift, a pair of extra legs can be seen. Legs that don't belong to either child. The family insists that it was just the two children in the chair, but locals who saw the photo spoke of an old tragedy. A child who vanished from the lift years ago was never found, despite days of searching. Some believe this photo captured the spirit of that lost child, still riding the chairlift, unseen by anyone, except maybe the camera. But what do you make of this photo? Let me know. The historical Gilchrist County Jail in Trenton, Florida, was built in 1928 and operated until 1968 as the county's main detention facility. Known for its cramped, sweltering cells and minimal overnight supervision, the jail has gained a reputation for unexplained activity over the years. Today, it's preserved as a destination for paranormal investigations. Visitors report hearing unexplained sounds, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling sudden temperature changes, leading many to believe something from the jail's past still lingers within its walls. The uploader says that while testing cameras, they captured something or someone that can't be seen with the naked eye. Do you see it? No? What about now? Behind the unsuspected woman, a quote, very cold person-shaped form can be seen, but in the non-thermal photo taken at exactly the same time, no one is behind her. Commenters in the Facebook group The Historical Gilchrist County Jail believe that this is something paranormal, but what do you think? This next video was recorded by a man who was out camping alone in the woods. Sometime after dark, he was awoken by strange sounds echoing outside his tent. The sounds didn't stop, and so he decided to grab his phone and step outside to check. At first, he didn't see anything, but then he heard something right above him, something that made his blood run cold. Two glowing eyes can be seen peering down at the man. At first, it looks like it could just be the eyes of an animal. However, if we brighten and enhance the footage, a pale, human-like head appears, watching the man from the darkness. The man says it was impossible for any human to get up there, and that the noise it was making was unlike anything he'd ever heard before. Noises so sinister that they would send shivers down the spines of even the bravest of people. So what is this thing so high up in the trees looking down at this camper? Comment and let me know. Popular Indonesian ghost hunter Ewing HD ventures out to a supposedly haunted house located in Bataraden, Purwokerto, Indonesia. The house is said to be haunted by a kuntilanak, a vengeful spirit from Indonesian folklore, often depicted as a woman with long black hair in a white dress, and sightings of her have been frequent, giving the house the nickname the Kuntilanak House. For the first part of the video, Ewing and his team explore the old house, then later they find an upstairs room with a painting in, supposedly the painting of the woman whose spirit is said to be the Kuntilanak, and Ewing decides to call out.
Bentar lagi lagunya habis, bentar lagi. Tanggung. Guys, cepetan guys. Bagi para penghuni yang ada di sini, coba kasih kita penampakan, entah itu berupa wujud atau suara. Lagunya udah mau habis.
Did you spot it? If you look at the painting, the eyes of the woman move right after Ewing calls out. but at the time, nobody noticed it, and it was only when they reviewed the footage did they see what the camera had captured. This next video was uploaded to YouTube by Candace Gardner, who claims her home is haunted by a quote, poltergeist. For some time, Candace has uploaded video footage of orbs floating around in front of her home security camera, toys moving on their own, and many other things that have led her to believe it's all down to something paranormal. In this first video, captured on Candace's home security camera, Candace is in her kitchen when this happens. A utensil suddenly launches in the air, startling Candace, who jumps in shock. On another day, Candace decides to move the camera closer in the kitchen in an attempt to capture clearer evidence if the quote, poltergeist does something. But nothing happens. However, a few days later, the camera captured this. A knife flies out of the knife block, narrowly missing Candace, who again jumps in fear. In the following nights after this, Candace begins to experience something even more disturbing, waking up in the middle of the night with intense pain, only to find unexplained scratch marks on her body, which suggests she may be marked for possession. A few days pass and nothing much really happens, but then, while Candace and her husband are resting in their living room, something terrifying happens. Candace is awoken from her rest by her leg being pulled and twisted in ways that would be impossible for most people. She yells for help, "Get it off me," and her husband struggles to free her from something we can't see that is holding her leg. But who or what could be doing this? YouTube viewers agree with Candace that all these incidents she managed to capture on camera are exactly caused by what she says, a poltergeist. But what do you think is going on here? Is this poltergeist activity? Drop a comment with your thoughts. This next clip was uploaded by a woman who works as a house cleaner in the US. She'd been hired to deep clean a rental home late at night, and while that might sound like an ordinary job, what she didn't know is that this house has a dark reputation. According to the landlord, this used to be his family home, but after living there for years, he says something changed. He began hearing whispers in empty rooms, doors would slam shut without warning, and he'd catch glimpses of something moving just out of sight. Eventually, he moved out. He didn't want to sell the property, so he decided to rent it out. But every single tenant since has broken their lease. Some stayed only a few days, others didn't make it a full night. Each one left in a hurry. The landlord didn't know what to make of it until he started getting calls. Tenants saying they were hearing things, seeing things. One even claimed they woke up to find something standing at the end of their bed, only for whatever it was to vanish into the dark. Now, the house was empty again, and that's when the cleaner was called in. She decided to film the job just to document the condition of the property, but what she captured creeped her out.
Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque la gente no dura rentando.
rompe el contrato por una u otra cosa y tuvimos que venirla a limpiar el día de hoy porque ya mañana se van a mover. Se las quiero enseñar. Lo raro es que dice el realtor que no dura la gente. Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque rompe el contrato a la gente. Ay, no mames. Ya es noche. Estoy sola. Chingados, estoy. No hay nada. Esta pinche casa la han rentado un chingo de veces. Y no sé por qué rompe el contrato la gente. Ay, no. Déjenme regresar, sí, porque...
As she walks through the dark, empty house, a door suddenly opens on its own. She cautiously approaches to check, but there's no one there. Still rattled, she keeps filming, but later, after uploading the video, viewers notice something she hadn't seen at all.
Iba a dejar grabando, pero la neta ya me está dando cosa. Se escucha el ruido para acá. No sé qué sea. Escuché mucho ruido. Yo creo que me voy a tener que ir. Tengo que ir a apagar la luz de ella porque se está poniendo ya. Ay, no. Creo que me voy a regresar mañana mejor. Yo me voy a la chinga. Esa pinche luz, la de acá la tengo que apagar.
Noises can be heard coming from a dark room of the empty property, and the cleaner goes closer. And well, did you spot this one? If we brighten the footage, someone or something can be seen peeking out from a doorway, just watching the cleaner. But the cleaner is completely unaware to its presence. She just walks right past it, never even noticing. After being alerted to whatever this is peeking in that dark room, the cleaner was left spooked. She believes that whatever this is the cause of all the scary activity that has made all the tenants leave in a hurry. But what do you think this is? The clips were uploaded by Haunted Amelia, a young woman who lives in the UK. Amelia recently bought a 250-year-old house with the plan to renovate it. However, when she came to restore the aged floorboards, she noticed that one of them was loose. Curious, she lifts it up and makes a surprising discovery.
It's wedged under the old floorboards. Whoa. It's definitely a book. But they're not like actual pages, they're like really thick.
Amelia is shocked to discover an old book buried underneath the loose floorboard. She opens it up and finds it's filled with photographs. At first, the photographs are all portraits of various people, but then things take a more unsettling turn.
I noticed what seemed like a very old photo of my house. This is when the pictures took an unsettling turn. The rest of the album is filled with pictures of empty rooms that have an unsettling feeling. A dark shadow appears in all of these photos.
As Amelia gets further into the book, she finds photographs of what appear to be empty rooms. Considering the age of the pictures, which were likely captured in the late 1800s when photography was a long, expensive and precise process, it seems strange that someone would go to the trouble of photographing empty space. Unless they suspected that something was there, something that couldn't be seen with the naked eye. Amelia notices that each photo has a dark shadow in it. She doesn't know what it is, but she claims to feel uneasy for several days after finding the book. This next clip, which she posted a few days later, only made her feel more creeped out.
And it's like, it just stopped. And now it's like, am I tripping out?
A single dart can be seen hovering just inches away from the dartboard, slowly moving as if something invisible is holding it. But how is that possible? Amelia has no idea how to explain it, but she can't help feeling like this mysterious phenomenon is linked to the old book she found under the loose floorboard. In this final clip, Amelia hears a disturbance coming from upstairs and she goes to investigate. As Amelia enters the bedroom, the curtain suddenly pulls back and then an object flies across the room. But how? This has led viewers to speculate that, just like the dart in the previous clip, this activity is paranormal and is linked to the book Amelia found. As one commenter says, what if by opening the book, you have released what was being held in the photos? This suggests that Amelia's house may be haunted. But the question remains, what is the dark shadow in the old photographs? And why was the book buried under the floorboards? You tell me. Chinese ghost hunter Xiaolong from the YouTube channel Horror Xiaolong uploaded this next series of clips after a visit to an abandoned funeral home in Xinjiao City, which went badly wrong. Locals say the creepy funeral home is haunted by the ghosts of people who were unable to move on to the afterlife. And that's exactly what Xiaolong goes looking for, but he's totally unprepared for what he is about to see. Just outside the funeral home, Xiaolong sees an old hearse, and that's when things start to get truly scary.
What?
The door to the back of the abandoned vehicle opens all on its own, almost as if it's being opened by something we can't see. Xiaolong is understandably freaked out, but he continues his exploration and heads inside the building.
See. 哎呦我操你妈呀！我去你妈的！哎我操！他妈的，这是放尸体了！我操！我操！丢你！我操！
By this point, Xiaolong knows that coming here was a mistake, but his viewers urge him to keep going, as, well, this whole video was recorded live. He takes out an amulet that he says will protect him from evil spirits, but then this happens.
操你妈！
A small, pale face can be seen peeking down from a hatch in the ceiling. Right before Xiaolong's eyes, the face rises into the air and disappears. Could this be one of the ghosts that is said to haunt the abandoned funeral home? Drop a comment below with your thoughts on this. These next two clips were uploaded to social media by Arissa Kelly. Arissa is a record-holding archer and usually posts archery-related content to her account. But one night, she's alone in the studio she trains in when something happens that really freaks her out. After posting the following footage, Arissa's viewers all asked the same question: is the building haunted? See for yourself.
Last night, I caught on camera one of the creepiest experiences whilst I was training, and it happened over there. To preface this, it was about 11 PM at night. I was on my own and I was filming a crossbow video, so I had set all the doors and alarms to let me know if anyone entered, because I needed to make sure that no one would accidentally walk in front of the target. But this is when it gets creepy. I'm just trying to get my angle for the video. But then I think I hear footsteps further down the building. Just watch my reaction. It really sounded like there was someone walking through the building. And I got this like cold chill over my body. By this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe I'm just hearing weird noises. Let's continue filming this video. But this is when things get super, super creepy. Just keep an eye on the curtain in the corner. Right, that's one. Ugh. Is it me or does it look like someone's pulling that back? Yeah. And the crazy thing is I had no idea until I sat down and edited this video in the studio on my own, and I freaked out. I finally plucked up the courage to see if there was anyone in the back, and the curtain was back to normal. There was definitely no one else in this building. And I know what you're thinking, was it just a breeze? But if you go back to the very beginning of the video, how are no other curtains throughout this whole thing moving? I also have a balloon on my target, so if there was any type of breeze, how would that not be moving? Anyway, I was completely freaked out, but I want to know what you guys think.
Arissa says she can hear footsteps, even though the building is supposed to be empty. Then, without her noticing at the time, one of the curtains behind Arissa moves, almost like someone or something is pulling it. Arissa is so creeped out that she doesn't go back to the studio for a few days. When she finally feels brave enough to return, she meets the building's technical director, and what he tells her is truly creepy.
And I decided I wanted to get a fresh perspective, so I spoke to Randy. And he also has a creepy story to tell. Randy is our technical director for the building, and he's also fixed a lot of the areas of the building. And have you ever had any weird experiences here?
No, but a friend of mine did. There was a balloon that somebody had drawn a face on. He was here by himself at night. Balloon was up on stage. And he thought that was kind of strange, and then he ignored it for a while. Then the balloon showed up right here in front of his face.
That would have creeped me out so much.
Drifted into the booth where he was. Yeah, he freaked out.
I decided to get Randy's opinion on my video, especially because he hung these curtains.
That shocked me.
Yeah.
I hung these black curtains.
The fact that it blew that way up, because there's no vents, is there?
Right, there's no vents back here, and it was pulled that direction, and then it didn't swing back. See, if it does move, it's going to fall back.
Yes! I mean, the thing is that they're see-through, so if someone was here behind it, you would have seen... Can you stand behind that curtain so I can just see? You see, like, I would have been able to see if there was someone behind that curtain.
So, Arissa isn't the only one who has experienced something spooky in the building, but does that mean it's haunted? As viewers questioned, let me know what you think. This next set of clips were uploaded to the internet by The Green Manor, an Airbnb ran by a woman named Kaylee. Apparently, the Green Manor is over 260 years old, and both Kaylee and guests have noticed some rather unexplainable things happening in and around the old property. One thing in particular is guests complaining about strange noises, including the sounds of footsteps and talking coming from the attic above the bedroom. However, the attic door is always locked, and Kaylee is the only one with a key, so the likelihood anyone or anything could get up there is small. After receiving multiple complaints about footsteps and talking coming from the attic, Kaylee decides to set up a camera in the attic to try and get to the bottom of it all. And it doesn't take long for the camera to detect something. But when she checks the footage, it shows nothing out of the ordinary. The sounds don't stop though, and more guests complain, so Kaylee decides to stay the night in the Airbnb for a week. And late one night, she's awoken by noises. She grabs her phone to record everything as evidence. This is what she caught.
And this whole time I'm getting ring notifications that there is motion in my attic. And mind you, we moved the camera to this small room off of the attic. So like the timing right now is a little crazy.
Noises can be heard coming from above Kaylee as she walks around the Airbnb, and she mentions that the whole time her Ring camera had been sending her notifications of motion detected. She checks the footage but doesn't see anything. However, the next night, the camera captures something which has left viewers spooked. The door in the attic creaks open and closed, mysteriously, all by itself. And if you look closely, small orbs, which paranormal believers say are spirits, can be seen floating around. But did you spot it? No, neither did I at first. Eagle-eyed viewers did though. As the door opens wider, what looks like the face of someone or something can be seen looking in through the gap of the door. But what the fuck is it? Commenters on this video suggest that this is a ghost child and believe that Kaylee's Ring camera caught a ghost on camera who is the culprit for all the noises the guests had been complaining about. But what do you think is happening here? Share your thoughts below. Reddit user EMF4 Paranormal recently shared this unsettling clip from a paranormal investigation inside a reportedly haunted school. He and his girlfriend were exploring the building late at night when they decided to conduct a spirit box session inside the old gymnasium. There was no breeze whatsoever and no open doors or windows, and the air was so thick with humidity that condensation was forming on the floor. While filming, his girlfriend suddenly says she feels something touch her hair, but brushes it off, thinking it might just be a bug. But when they got home and reviewed the footage, they saw this.
Sorry. I think that was my hair or something.
A piece of her hair, completely still one moment, suddenly flicks to the side as if something tugged on it. There's no visible cause, and with the humidity that night, static electricity was ruled out. The OP insists this video is unedited and says they've tried to debunk everything, but they just can't explain what happened. So, what could have touched her hair? Possibly something they couldn't see? Trying to make contact? Let me know what you think. In August 2020, Vivian Vasquez, a news anchor from Guatemala, tragically passed away. It was early in the morning, and Vivian was driving to work along the Chimaltenango bypass when something made her suddenly lose control of the car. By the time the emergency services arrived, Vivian was already gone. However, someone who recorded the aftermath of the collision ended up capturing something that just doesn't make sense. Listen carefully. Did you hear it? What sounds like a woman's voice can be heard, and viewers think it could be Vivian's spirit calling out from beyond the grave. It gets creepier. Viewers tried to figure out what the voice said, and many think it sounds like a woman saying, Que me hiciste? Meaning, what did you do to me? But what do you think? Is this Vivian's spirit calling out from beyond the grave? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. A photo shared on Facebook in September has attracted a lot of attention. It was uploaded to the page Chilling Scary, but the original source of the photo is unknown. The only information I was able to find was that it was taken by a group of friends who went hiking in Chile. At first glance, the photo looks normal. Nothing creepy about it, right? Well, look very, very closely. In between two of the women, what looks like a face can be seen, but who is it? Facebook commenters had their say, with users like Kim Chavez stating that, quote, "It looks like a spirit of a person from a local native tribe there in Chile," and the majority agree that they do indeed see a face. But the question remains, who or what is it? Is this the face of a spirit? You tell me. Thanks so much for watching. If you're up for more scary videos, check out one of these next. You're gonna love them. Oh, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.